Craig Jenkins. He is the owner and CEO of the Jenkins Agency. And, Craig, you're actually based up in Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee. But the reason you're here today on Gwinnett Business Radio is because you are coordinating a very special event in October, the 25-year reunion of the 1994 Atlanta Knights Turner Cup Championship team. For those that may not have been in Atlanta in the 90s, tell us all about the Atlanta Knights and what a big deal they were back then.
Well, it's a story made for Hollywood, to be honest with you, in a city that hosted, obviously, the Braves, the Hawks, the Falcons. Hockey before that was in the form of the Atlanta Flames. And David Berkman, Charles Felix, Richard Adler, namely, took it upon themselves to purchase a International Hockey League team, which was the kind of AAA, I guess you would, affiliate of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Phil Esposito was with the Lightning at that time in a management position and so forth. So stuck it down here and in Atlanta in the Omni prior to the 96 Olympics. And we knew that we couldn't sell hockey in itself, but we sold a party, and we sold an attitude, and we sold entertainment, and fans just literally came out in droves.
Oh, now Donatelli wants to go at it with Medill, who backs away from trouble, and Martel calls no penalty. Here comes San Diego the other way. Across and splitting the defense, a quick shot, save, rebound, and another save, and one wide as Lambert could not capitalize. A penalty coming up now as LaPuma and Lambert push and shove. Donatelli challenged Cummins, he went down. Cummins throwing punches. Oh, he's all over Miles O'Connor. A linesman is between Bawa and LaPuma, and Cummins has just blistered O'Connor with punches.
I don't know what our average attendance was, but it was well in excess of over 10,000 in the Omni, which for hockey held 14,777, if I'm not mistaken, give or take a couple of bodies. So anyway, it was really just kind of one of those things that ended up taking Atlanta by storm, and we ended up outdrawing the Hawks for, 2-3 years in a row. We outdrew the Hawks.
And it all came together in 1994 with a Turner Cup championship.
That's correct. Yeah, it was a glorious moment in the Omni, 14,000 plus, 700 plus, sold out capacity crowd Omni. We were playing the Fort Wayne Comets.
20 seconds to go. Cummins rolled it ahead. Here's an empty net opportunity for the Knights. They shot it wide. Now another chance goes wide as Tanguay had an opportunity. But it won't make any difference. They count it down in Atlanta. The 1994 IHL Turner Cup champion Atlanta Knights are mobbing one another here on home ice.
And you were part of that organization as well, and you knew not many people gave us a chance from the get-go. It was minor league. This is a major league city. You know, hockey's not going to fly in the South. And I said, you guys haven't seen the product, you haven't experienced it, and it was on par with the National Hockey League in many, many, many ways, including talent. But really the ironic thing was we may have been minor league in name, but we were major league in every other component, from front office to management. It was done and done very, very well, and we were kind of the icon of the International League that year and for other years to come.
The players became celebrities. The captain was Stan Julia. Chris LaPuma was a fan favorite. He was the guy getting into fights all the time. And there was actually a parade down Peachtree Street after they won the championship. But here we are in 2019, 25 years later. It's the 25th year anniversary of the championship. Tell us what's going on. You're putting together a big thing in conjunction with the Atlanta Gladiators hockey team.
Well, it's weird how it got started. I had a couple of friends of mine that obviously worked with us, and they had called and said, man, if anybody can put this thing together, you can. Let's do this. We've got to do it. I said, I don't even know where to start. So fast forward, the parade happens 25 years later. I spoke with the Gladiators. Their opening weekend is that weekend. They play on the Friday and Saturday night that we'll be in town. The actual dates are October 18th and 19th. 18 is the Friday preceding The 19th is the Gladiator game at which we will be. And then 20th, of course, is, people will start making their way back to their homes. There's a lot of guys working in the National Hockey League now, that sort of thing. So it's going to be a huge weekend. And the really incredible thing, the response from the fans has been overwhelmingly positive.
People still remember the Atlanta Knights. So we go to, when you went to Thrasher games, you go to Gladiator games now, you still see people wearing Knights jerseys.
Yeah. It's a phenomenon. I know you would probably agree. It was some of the most fun times you ever had in your professional career, was being around that group of guys, both on the ice and off the ice. The camaraderie we had in the front office, and the players were more overly receptive to doing whatever we wanted them or asked them to do. And so it was just the perfect storm. I hate using that analogy, but that's really what it was. And the fans, once we started kind of leaking this out, like, is this something that you guys would even want to do? The fans went nuts. Now we're happy that we're going to be able to give them some details on when they can come back and share those memories. And a lot of people, including the ex-players, will call me and say, well, who all's coming? And I said, it would be easier for me to say who's not coming than who is coming, because right now I only know of 2 guys off of that team that aren't going to be here.
Yeah, right now, as of today, of the taping of the show, just about the entire team is going to be there. So that's the cool thing. So for the fans that remember the Atlanta Knights and remember the fondness of those days, the Gladiators game that Saturday night, I understand the Gladiators are going to be wearing Atlanta Knights jerseys during the warm-ups.
That's correct.
What else is going on? You told me the other day there's going to be an autograph session with the players?
We're still working on it. That's why I'm in Atlanta right now. They have planned, beginning at 6 p.m. when the doors open to the arena, they're going to have the players seated at tables with their names, of course. You'll be able to go up, get autographs. You'll be able to go up, get pictures made, share stories, bring your old memorabilia.
Bring your old Knights jersey, your old photos, your old yearbooks and programs.
And from that roster in the 94 season, each player will be represented in the form of a warm-up jersey that the Gladiators will wear in their pregame warm-up. And then afterwards, they will auction those jerseys off, and the proceeds all go to charity. So we're incredibly – you can get your tickets with us, call the Gladiators, get in touch with them, find out how – because they already know where we'll be sitting. You could sit with us during the game. The players who have called me and they have asked questions have been more along, hey, can I bring my wife? Can I bring my kids? And I said, absolutely, because when these children, 25 years ago,
many did not exist.
They may not, or mom was carrying them around in a stroller in one of those baby carriage things, They didn't have a clue what was going on.
They didn't know how popular, how big their dad was.
And so now they're going to see their dad and go, why would anybody want my dad's autograph? And you're going to be in Atlanta, and they're going to get to see it firsthand. So we're sure the players are going to get a kick out of that.
Let's go down memory lane real quick, Craig. For those that were big fans of the Atlanta Knights back in the day, list as many players as you can that you know have already committed to coming.
Okay.
I already mentioned Stan Julia,
Chris LaPuma, Jason Ruff, Christian Campo is coming. I'm going to pull up my cheat sheet.
I think
here.
J.C. Bergeron was the goaltender.
No, he was not.
Well, Greenlay was the starter in the playoffs.
Bingo! But because J.C. had gotten hurt, and then he got called up.
But J.C. was on the team.
Yes, he was on the team, and J.C. had really gotten us through the season.
Right.
If you recall,
and then Greenlay was the playoff guy.
Played remarkably.
And I know you're still waiting to hear from Greenlay, I believe. He's an analyst for the Minnesota Wild in the NHL, and no commitment from him yet, but I think I saw on your list that Bergeron has committed already.
J.C. Bergeron is coming, yeah. Front office-wise, it's everybody.
Who cares about the front office?
Right, exactly. Julia, Corey Cross is coming. Talked to him last night. Head coach John Paris will be there. Assistant coach Joe Bacchino, along with the legend himself, Gene Ubriaco, who was the coach the year previous. In fact, that was an interesting conversation that I had with John Paris when I said, Coach, I don't want to be disrespectful. Would you have an issue if Gene Ubriaco were at the reunion?
Because Ubriaco, wasn't he the head coach at the beginning of the year?
I think so.
And then he was called up in the middle of the year.
Right.
Because Paris was brought in for the roller hockey team. Once they called up Ubriaco, it was John Paris that they went ahead and just named him the head coach. And he came in maybe 3/4 of the way through the season and finished it out, and, of course, was there for the playoffs.
And he tells me, when I ask him about Ubi, he said, Craig, not only do I want him there, he said, you tell Ubi that I want him sitting right next to me at everything we do, because he left me with one heck of a hockey team. Brent Gretzky is coming, Sean Rivers, Jeff Buchanan, Jeff Medill, Devin Edgerton, Bill McDougall, Eric Sharon. That's pretty much everybody right there. Eric Dubois, whose son now is the top centerman with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I didn't know that. And Steve LaRouche have indicated it's going to be very difficult for them to be there because they're now coaching in either high school or juniors in Canada, and that's their end season, so to speak.
Okay, so 25-year anniversary of the Turner Cup Championship Atlanta Knights, a celebration going on in Atlanta, and it's really going to peak at the Atlanta Gladiators game Saturday, October 19th. For those that would like to find out, and there's going to be other things going on in town with the players, and that's all still being kind of developed right now. For those that would like to find out more, probably at this point, the safest thing is to say just get in touch with the Gladiators.
Bingo.
Because there you can get the tickets. They'll have, hopefully the autograph session there. Right. There may be some stuff going on after the game where you can mingle with the players. So that's all being developed right now, which is why you're in town.
Right, exactly. And I know that your listenership in Gwinnett County is nothing short of remarkable. I need desperately the help of your listeners in securing a place that will hold between 150 to 200 people on Saturday afternoon, October 19th. Call Mike Salmon, call the Gladiators, do whatever you have to do, because I need to feed about 150 people in Gwinnett County.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
Plenty of places.
Good deal.
We'll make it work. Great stuff, Craig. Thank you for joining us. I hadn't seen you in 25 years myself, and you came in and I said, hey, let me help you with this any way we can. So we want to get the word out because we do want to encourage all of you Atlanta Knights fans that were out there, come on out to the Gladiators game on that night and get to meet all the players. I mean, as we talked about, all the big stars are going to be here, so it's going to be really, really cool. I have had people ask me, and I asked you the other day, what about Manon Rhéaume? She was the female goaltender, but she was not on that team. She was with the team the previous year or two.
That's correct. So, she was not on that team. Now, if Manny would like to come, we would love to have her.
So we'll extend the invitation to Manon Rhéaume.
Absolutely. In fact, she was at Knoxville then, I believe, at that time.
Yes.
Who was our affiliate. So.
All right, so if you want to know more and get details, check out the Atlanta Gladiators website. But the date one final time for the big Atlanta Knights celebration at the Gladiators game at the Infinite Energy Center is Saturday, October 19th.
That's correct.
Craig, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.